All right. Here is my review of Obi-Wan Season 1, Episode 4. And man alive, I'm going to tell you right off, this was the worst episode of the season so far. And I do not know what they're doing down there at Lucasfilm. They're taking the Obi-Wan property, the Star Wars property in general, and it's like they're on a mission to just blow this crap up to smithereens. I do not understand what they're doing. They take what should have been a slam dunk of a show, and they have just messed this thing up so bad. I loved the last episode. The first two episodes were kind of awkward, and then this one was extremely awkward. And I don't know if you blame this on the writers or if you blame it on Deborah Chow, the director. I just don't know what is going on. And there were reports of the writer that have been all over the internet for the last couple of days, and how the writer of Obi-Wan had no idea that Obi-Wan knew that Anakin was Darth Vader, and they had never seen Episode 3 of Star Wars. How do you, as a company who owns this franchise, hire people who don't know the materials that they're working on? That, to me, seems incredibly stupid. I just don't understand that at all. You would think if you want your materials to be as successful as possible, as you put people on the project who have a passion for those properties and understand them inside and out. And it is clear that the writers don't. And this episode, I'm sorry, it was just embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. It's so bad. First of all, the episode is only 30 minutes long. You take out all the credits and everything, it's less than 30 minutes. It's probably like 27 minutes long. You only have 6 episodes. What are you doing? This was and I'm going to keep this as spoilers free as possible, but in this episode, Obi-Wan hatches a plan to go save Leia. And the rest of it is just ridiculous. He ends up being in a bacta tank at the beginning to get healed. He starts having all these visions of everything that's happened and realizes, oh my gosh, where's Leia? So he breaks out of the bacta tank and he demands to be seen by the rebels to get a team together to go rescue her. And when this is how bad this is. He goes to talk to one of the rebels on this base who's in charge. And this guy in charge just flat out tells him, I don't care who you are. I'm not getting involved with this. This is not something I'm going to do. And then no joke, 30 seconds later, he's talking about how his wife had been killed by the Inquisitors and the Imperials, and how he has to get involved and he's going to help. What? All of a sudden he changes his mind like that for no reason? This whole episode was like that. There were some really bizarre things that happened in this episode that it just boggles my mind. Another one is when the girl that's helping Obi-Wan decides to use her disguise as an Imperial her cover as an Imperial to go help him break into the installation that's holding Leia. And oh my gosh, she gets stopped right at the entrance, and the guy's like, this isn't your post. She's like, I'm your superior. You need to let me in. Oh, okay, I'm going to let you in. What? Holy crap, this is terrible writing. This is embarrassing for Disney. I'm sorry. It's just flat out embarrassing. The last 2 episodes in this show had better be good, because I'll tell you what, this is absolutely embarrassing. The only bright spot has been episode 3 so far, and we only have 2 episodes to go. And, I was expecting him to freaking meet up with Qui-Gon by now, start getting training to go rescue Leia and deal with Vader, but it doesn't even look like they're working towards anything here. There's no character development. There's nothing going on here. It's very on the surface and very embarrassing. In fact, they have some people to come in and help at the end to help rescue Obi-Wan, and they just send in 2 vehicles, they look like miniature versions of the snow speeders, and the Imperials don't have any TIE fighters out to intercept these individuals. With the alarms that Obi-Wan sets off in this installation, you would think that they would send some TIE fighters out just to scour the area to make sure they're not being, taken over or having an invasion or whatever you want to call it or being attacked. But they don't. In fact, you never see one of the TIE fighters take off in this episode. They make it seem very small. Everything seems like very on the surface and very small. Even the action seems a little just disjointed Obi-Wan does some pretty cool stuff with his saber in this episode, but it just comes off as chintzy and cheap. It doesn't even sound, it's like the sound effects are off, the look is off. Everything about this, the direction and the acting, it's like, what is Disney doing? It's just embarrassing, and for those of us that are lifelong, massive Star Wars fans, it's difficult to watch. I'd love to hear what other people think of this. I know a lot of people like the first couple of episodes more than I did, but you can't make excuses for what they did in this episode. I'm sorry. I just don't see or understand what they're doing at this stage. All right, I will do a quick recap after next week's episode as well, and I'm just crossing my fingers that this is going to get better, but this seems to be like a dumpster fire at this stage. There's even a scene with Vader in this episode confronting Reva that was not Vader. He would never have done what he did. Like, it would have been... Just that scene would have been over in 2 seconds. It's embarrassing. The whole thing's embarrassing. Anyway, what did you guys think of the episode? I would love to hear your thoughts, and let's see where this goes over the next couple of weeks.